Hey, Liv.
Hey.
Matt. Hey. We've seen the Lich King in Hearthstone before, but things are a little different this time around, right?
That's right. This time the Lich King's back, joining the roster of heroes, adding Death Knight as the 11th class in Hearthstone.
Death Knights are the unliving champions of the Scourge. They fortify themselves with the power of blood, blast their enemies with a chill of frost, and raise the dead with unholy fervor.
To get to know the new class, you will follow the journey of Prince Arthas Menethil in an action-packed solo adventure as he goes down the dark path that leads him to becoming a Death Knight, and ultimately the Lich King. This is the greatest Warcraft story ever told, now in Hearthstone. In this prologue, you play as the new Death Knight class, and you'll face down some of Hearthstone's greatest heroes, including Uther, Sylvanas, and Illidan. The prologue will be available to all players for free.
After you complete the prologue and become the Lich King, you'll unlock the Death Knight class, which also gives you access to their core set, and it's huge. 32 cards. That's nearly twice the size of the other classes, and will continue to be that large for the future. You'll also get 3 pre-made decks to help you jump right in.
Right, we really wanted to make sure that players had the opportunity to try a bunch of different Death Knight strategies on launch. So we also created the Path of Arthas, which is a set of 26 additional Death Knight cards to help you power up your collection. And the Path of Arthas bundle comes with 3 advanced Death Knight decks so that you're battle ready on day 1.
Oh, and there's still also an expansion set, so that's another 10 Death Knight cards there too. In total, Death Knight launches with a whopping 68 cards.
They have a huge card set with 50% more cards than we launched with Demon Hunter. Death Knights have the most varied gameplay of any class in Hearthstone.
Okay, there's a lot of cards. Let's get into their gameplay, and more importantly, see some of these cards. Let's start with the Death Knight hero power. Ghoul Charge. Summon a 1/1 ghoul with charge. It dies at end of turn. Death Knights raise the expendable undead to fight for them.
For Death Knights, dying is all part of the game. In fact, it's essential to power up some of your new cards using their new mechanic, corpses. Whenever a friendly minion dies, you add another corpse to the pile. You can see your corpse counter underneath your mana bar.
Many Death Knight cards spend those corpses to unlock additional effects. So, you ready to show some cards?
Let's do it.
All right, here's Army of the Dead. Raise up to 5 corpses as 2/2 ghouls with rush. It doesn't matter what minions died to give you the corpses, they're just a resource to be consumed.
If the necromantic harvesting of corpses makes you squeamish, you can think about it like recycling, just with dead things.
It can also be used to power some spells. Corpse Explosion is my favorite spell in World of Warcraft, so I'm really excited to bring it to Hearthstone to be the coolest board clear that we've ever made. As long as there's minions on the board and you have corpses, fun never stops.
If you have excess corpses but are short on cards, you can use Defrost for some card draw. So there are numerous cards that spend corpses to do all sorts of things.
You might have noticed that there's some cards that have little symbols underneath the mana cost. That brings us to the new big topic, runes.
There are 3 types of runes, and we brought a friend to the Blizzard campus to help reveal them. I'm here with the fabulous Ali Straza.
Thank you, so excited to be here.
We have a new class coming, Death Knight.
All right.
And Death Knights use runes to specialize their deck. Ali's gonna help us reveal those runes. We have a few challenges lined up for you. You ready to go?
I'm super ready.
Let's do it. Welcome to our first challenge. We have 5 tons of snow for you.
This is real snow.
Yeah.
Like actually snow.
Somewhere in this 5 tons of snow is our first rune. Here are your rune finding tools.
Okay.
Have at it.
Oh my gosh. Whew. This might take me a while. Whew.
Take your time, take your time.
All right. I'm not very far in, okay. I think I could probably require some assistance.
We'll find this rune.
We will find this rune.
Absolutely.
Oh!
Oh, what'd you find?
I found it! Frost. Beautiful. Found the frost rune!
All right, let's go get some hot chocolate before the zombies arrive.
Wait, zombies?
This is your second challenge.
What?
The rune you're looking for is somewhere in there.
Okay, all right.
That'd be too easy, so
Too easy.
yeah.
Wish me luck, everyone.
Livening up the worms for you.
We're livening up the worms.
Yeah. Ready? What does that feel like?
Oh my God, wait, what was that? Oh my, okay, I don't know. Oh, okay. I feel like I'm getting closer. Oh God, okay, sorry.
Just really dig in there.
Oh, wait, hold on. Nope.
Find
Okay,
something?
nope.
Nope.
It was just dirt. Oh, wait.
Oh. What do you got?
I found it! I don't know what it looks like because I have a blindfold on. Ooh, an unholy rune. That is not real.
No worms were harmed in the making
Oh,
of this.
that makes me feel better. I didn't want to hurt the worms.
That's 2 challenges down. You ready for a third?
I'm ready for a third.
Let's get popping.
Let's do it.
We have here the third and final challenge.
Yep.
The rune you're looking for is in one of these balloons. It might get a little messy. We do have some protection for you.
Oh, sweet.
Looking great.
Look good, right?
All right. Here is your rune finder.
Whew.
Ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
Oh my goodness. Oh. Oh. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh. Ah. Okay.
Keep trying.
I can't see.
That wasn't it. Oh, a rune.
A rune!
You found it.
I found it! The blood rune. I think that this was definitely my favorite challenge.
Why is that?
You know, just. I'm sorry, I had to do it.
All right. Allie Strauss, it's been wonderful.
Thank you very, very much for having me. This was an absolute blast.
Back to me. Thanks, Allie.
We mentioned earlier that Death Knights have the most varied gameplay of any class. We're not just saying that. Runes are a way of specializing your Death Knight deck towards a wide range of playstyles.
Blood, Frost, and Unholy runes. These are critical to building a Death Knight deck. During deck construction, there are 3 rune slots. You can fill them with any combination of Blood, Frost, or Unholy runes to choose how much you want to devote yourself to that playstyle.
Your deck's runes control what Death Knight cards you can add to your deck. We wanted to build a new axis for players who liked deck building to give them more depth when constructing decks. If you're someone who prefers to use other people's decks, don't worry. The rune system's gonna feel pretty invisible, so copy-pasting deck codes is gonna feel pretty much the way it was. Since most Death Knight cards have rune requirements on them, runes greatly impact what your deck feels like. Corpse Explosion requires 2 blood runes, so your deck has to have at least 2 blood runes to be able to add Corpse Explosion to your deck.
Death Knights can do many incredibly powerful things, but you can't just cherry pick the best cards. The rune system lets you specialize your deck, but in a very flexible way, full of interesting trade-offs. So let's talk about how each specialization of Death Knight plays and what makes them unique.
Well, first, Blood Death Knights. Blood Death Knights are big meat bags and incredibly resilient. They drain life force from their opponents and defend with walls of flesh and bone. They have these powerful removal cards, lifesteal, health manipulation, and huge minions, and they control the game. If you want to dip your toe into blood with a single blood rune, you can get big defensive minions. Removal, disruption, all of that's valuable to Blood Death Knights, but it's also powerful to other decks that focus on other runes. Blood Boil is another powerful control tool against wide boards when you're low on health. Both Blood Boil and Corpse Explosion require 2 runes, so they'll define how your deck works, but give you that ability to flex into other runes for that extra versatility. And if you're super excited to dive headfirst into triple blood, then Pyrrhic Blood can give you an extreme effect that increases your max health.
Okay, Frosty Case. These are my favorite. They slice and dice their way through their opponents in a flurry of cold steel and icy blasts. They utilize direct damage, spell synergies, the Frost spell school, mana manipulation, and of course, some freeze. Here are some single Frost cards. We've got some card draw, some direct damage, mechanics well suited for Frost decks, but also available to decks focused on other runes. These are a couple double Frost cards. Horn of Winter is great for bursting out some combo pieces together. Overseer Frigidara provides some strong synergy for decks that focus on Frost School spells. And here's a triple Frost card, Frostworm's Fury. Only a triple Frost deck can use it, but it can deal damage, freeze the enemy board, and put a threat of your own on the board. And it's a Frost School spell, which matters for many of their synergies.
Okay. Last is Unholy. This is my favorite. Unholy Death Knights raise relentless armies of the undead. They flood the board with minions and buff them all. They're also the most adept at generating and using corpses. For just a single Unholy rune, you'll get some powerful options like these. Perfect for Unholy decks, but also attractive to other strategies that might want to generate more corpses. In double Unholy, Battlefield Necromancer's great at keeping you protected with taunt minions. And if you've generated a whole bunch of corpses, Lord Marogar is the ultimate corpse spender, but requires entirely dedicating your runes to Unholy.
All right, that covers Blood, Frost, and Unholy, but there's also a few Death Knight cards that require no runes. These tend to be more general purpose cards, generically useful to many decks.
Between the Death Knight core set, the Path of Arthas set, and March of the Lich King, there are 68 Death Knight cards entering Standard, including 10 legendaries. 10!
Okay, you've seen what the 3 rune types are all about, but how do they fit together to make some sweet decks? Well, I mentioned before that the Path of Arthas bundle comes with 3 pre-made decks to get you started. Well, let's take a look at a couple of those now to help make the rune system clear.
The blood deck from Path of Arthas is Blood, Blood, Unholy. Now remember, corpses are a new resource for Death Knights, but control decks don't run a lot of minions, mostly just big ones, so your corpse generation is kinda low. So we'll dip into Unholy for cards like Graveyard Shift, which is a very efficient corpse generator. You get 4 corpses from just 1 card.
The Path of Arthas Frost deck is a spicy combo deck. It's triple Frost. Powerful Frost spells for direct damage, mana cheating, and icy combo potential. Matt, you're in for an absolute flurry of ice shards gonna be thrown your way.
That's fine. I'll counter with Unholy Frost for Smork from the grave! You'll never be able to clear all my boards, and card draw synergies from Frost will help keep the waves of undead coming.
We'll see about that. Oh, and I almost forgot. We keep mentioning undead.
Oh yeah, undead. Undead is a new minion type, representing the various forms of dead minions that have been brought back to life. For example, we've got Infected Peasant. That's a living minion. It death rattles into Undead Peasant, undead minion. I mean, it's right there in the name. And Skeletal Sidekick will buff any undead minion.
A common phrase you'll see for undead synergies is, if a friendly undead died after your last turn. This new minion type cares about death, so if your opponent cleared your board on their turn, or you traded your minions in on your current turn, cards like Bone Flinger will be active.
When designing undead, we wanted to find a mechanic that made players feel like their minions were really rising from the grave. Turns out, the perfect mechanic was right under our noses the whole time. Reborn. Originally from the Saviors of Uldum expansion, Reborn means that the first time a Reborn minion dies, it returns to life with 1 health. Perfect. And so, Reborn is back as an evergreen keyword. And if we've got a minion type that cares about dying, and that uses Reborn, hey, that gives me an idea. We haven't made a Rager lately. Scourge Rager ends up as the 5/1 Rager stat line, but triggers your undead synergies. And it's great value to resurrect too.
We poured over every Hearthstone card we've ever made and added the undead type to hundreds of minions from past sets.
But especially with the addition of undead, we kept running into questions like, is this skeletal dragon an undead or a dragon? We concluded the coolest answer would be both. So we've added dual type minions, such as Undead Quillbore from the Barrens, or pirates that happen to be Murlocs, or demons.
Or this brand new undead beast, Invincible. The Lich King Steed is a tavern full of stats that's great for undead focus decks.
So we've got the Lich King, Death Knights, and Undead. There's still a whole expansion to go over though. Let's grab some friends.